Hi, all. Sometimes when Mike and I go biking, I put a camera on the top of my helmet that records what we see. I thought that I would take the end of the video of Rovinj that we took a few days ago on a 20 to 30 kilometer bike ride we did and use it to show you what a typical seaside resort town looks like over here.
It was actually a market day, so the one of the big squares right here had a bunch of stalls and kiosks and all open, but a lot of them that were set up there were actually closed because it's out of season. You'll see lots of the places and tourist things closed now. There's actually more going on here, maybe because it's market day, than we normally see. We didn't actually get back to this waterfront area until the end of the ride. We took our bikes up and around many of the streets in town. You can see how wide they are. In some places, it's largely just residential, and in other places, like here, the bottom part has the little stores open to the public, to the tourists, actually. A bunch of them are closed now, but a fair number of them in this area are open. You don't find that in the smaller towns off the coast. They're pretty well all closed. Buildings here that look, or buildings that at home this might look old and run down and that type of thing, don't here. I mean, here you know the age of them. They're actually medieval, a lot of these ones. And historic, and it just makes a huge difference to the way you look at them. Right here, we're going up a really steep hill. Actually, I think Mike's walking his bike up the hill behind me. This is definitely one of the problems in lots of these towns, especially for biking. Some of them get just too steep. The stones are really, really bumpy, and I was quite afraid that my helmet with the camera on it, like it just bounces all over the place. And actually, the pictures aren't bad considering how bouncy it really was taking them in this video. Like many towns, Rovinj is on a spit of land or on a little bit that sticks out, and there's often water either around many, like three sides of the town, or it's a huge bay with lots of water. We're just continuing to ride in and out of the streets and ended up on the outside of the town. That stone is so bumpy. It's why you can see I'm riding actually on the grass and not the stones because it's so bumpy there. It's not comfortable. Keep going around this little pathway. You came out of the residential area and you end up going back into the town. You can see there's not many people at these tables right now. In the summertime, this place is absolutely packed, and I really wouldn't like it probably at all. But you can see how interesting, Mike, and I find it. Each little corner you see something different, from medieval buildings to modern day yachts to tourist little things and stores and stuff. I just think this is so neat. It's fun and it's just different. Of course, we got here and Mike saw this main dock or pier of the town and had to bike out. And good little wife, I followed right behind him and biked out. And we got to the end of the pier, and then we turned around, obviously. And as we came back in, I thought it was the greatest view of the harbor and the town and the church. There's a church steeple over top of every single town in this country, I swear it. You can see it standing out on horizons, on coastlines, everywhere. This is a relatively representative seaside resort town. Nothing like the towns in the interior of the country, but very much like along the coastline, which is so heavy in tourism during the year. I think it's great looking. Lots of areas for walking, for biking, um, that we don't have at home. You know, we have cars everywhere. This is so much nicer for us.
We biked out of town back to our parking spot. Even the parking lots are lovely. We have now come to the end of our biking for the day. It started with a 30-kilometer bike ride and ended with touring the lovely town of Rovinj. And now we'll fold up our bikes, store them in the car, and drive them back to our home away from home.